We are back after a slight 1 week hiatus. I'm your co-host Jeremiah.
I'm your co-host Orlando.
Welcome back to the ONJ YouTube channel slash podcast audio. Today on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, we have a great game actually. You know, yours truly, uh, Oklahoma City Thunder, win at home against a tough Cleveland Cavaliers squad. Total 121 to 113. Uh, Cleveland still without Max Strus, of course, hasn't been cleared yet with his foot injury. And OKC missing a lot. Alex Caruso was out, left ankle. AJ Mitchell, domino. Shea had another abdomen injury. Jalen Williams hamstring. Uh, and then, of course, the Georgetown draft pick, Bear, still out, still has yet to play as well. Uh, as always, who's your player of the game? Who you got?
Me? Don't you gonna
Go,
start this?
go for it. Go
Your
for it.
team. Your team.
Right,
Like you
right.
feel like you always gonna start.
Uh, Player of the game. I'm gonna go with I don't know, so many different ways I can go. Um, I'll go the two Isaiahs, but more so Isaiah Joe.
Point.
Um, Isaiah Joe, he had a great first quarter. 11 points, started out pretty strong. 11 first quarter points, three threes. Not only that, I think, and I mean, he didn't end up getting no more steals after that. I believe if somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he had 5 steals in that first quarter as well. So he was very active. He didn't get no more steals for the rest of the game, but I mean, just that first quarter, he was very active. And what I was worried about as well, I don't remember the last game we did for OKC, but I remember we were talking about the last game with OKC, and I know he started out pretty strong, but kind of lagged off a little bit the rest of the game. Maybe he wasn't getting looked for as much as he was in the first quarter. And like what I feel like when he has that hot hand, I mean, I think that's a signal that this is gonna be like this is a game where he can heavily impact on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm glad that, those 11 points wasn't all that he scored. He for the rest of the game he did score after that first quarter, he did score another 11 points, was active on both the defensive and offensive end. And then Isaiah Hartenstein as well, just controlling the paint. Especially those three clutch buckets or 2 or 3 clutch buckets in the fourth quarter. Those 2 floaters, one from the middle of the floor, then one from I guess the left side of the floor, the left corner. He's pretty much mastered that floater, and then that big dunk on Jared Allen, which arguably could have been a and one dunk as well. So he was just great controlling the paint as well, and then Kason Wallace as well with a double double. Just loved how he looked. It was great to see him like without see how he ran the team without Shai or JDub on the floor. So I thought he did a great job of just controlling the game and just being a true point guard.
I feel like you just took everything that I was gonna say. Um,
That's what I
I
say.
was I was between Isaiah Joel and Carson Wallace, between the two, deciding who I wanted to do player of the game. But I was really impressed with Wallace, just the fact that he had 10 assists, just the way, and I believe they said that was his I don't know if it was his season or career high.
In
Um,
assists,
Assist, yeah, those
probably
10.
was. I don't see
Um,
that too much from him.
yeah, so it was nice seeing that this game, seeing how he's control the floor and kind of set guys up. So I would have to give it to him. Of course, it's 7 of 17. You probably want that to be a little bit more efficient, but I mean, when you bring in those assist numbers, that contribute a lot to the game.
Yeah, and I mean this game was a true team effort. You know what I mean? You have an incredible first quarter, right? 40, you end up you finish the quarter, 40 to 25. You score 40 points to start the game off, right? The first 12 minutes. And
Yeah.
Didn't always, but oh, what?
Just to add to that, they were beating the Cavs at the beginning, like 20 plus points. It was like 25-5 at one point, which was it's kind of crazy the way that game started off.
Yeah, no, it's wild. So it's like you see that you have that game, right? And then like you have a great first quarter, and and then I mean the thing is you've got to if it's going to be a dominant win, you've got to repeat that, right? You know what I mean? So you score a little under half of that. You know, you score 24 points, you know what I mean, in the second quarter. So clearly Cleveland has kind of figured you out a little bit and they're making it a game. You know what I mean? So I think it was Cleveland definitely didn't make it easy. You know what I mean? Home court advantage, like you said, a team's up 20. It's like, whoa, like how are we gonna get back? But Cleveland made it a game. You know what I mean? And they have definitely some real star power over there with Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. Is this kind of the, I guess maybe, I think it is for me, seeing James Harden like kind of full in a full capacity in Cleveland. Is it the same for you? Like first full game. Just what were your
Yeah.
thoughts on just him in his new uniform?
So first full game, like actually from start to finish. Obviously sometimes I like to watch highlights of games that I can't catch. Um, but it was nice. There was a lot of lineups. I guess I'll ask this question after I finish my thoughts. But I think he worked really well with the Cavs. I think James Harden kind of brought in another element to this team. And just some of the passes that he was kind of giving, especially to the big men, I think has been very impressive and it has worked very well to incorporate those two players into the game. Um, so I kind of really like it. Now, what I wanted to ask was your opinion on they played a lot of Dennis Schroeder, James Harden lineups. Um, what did you think about those lineups?
Um, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I don't know. I feel like Dennis Schroeder, like he's just a like it's few players I feel like you could just go out there and just you could just send them out like just you don't have to give them no instructions. Like you could just send them out there and they won't negatively impact the game, in my opinion. I feel like Schroeder is just one of those guys. Like he's played a lot of basketball. You know what I mean? I feel like he's played a lot of styles of basketball as well. You know what I mean? Different. I mean, you saw the illustration. You know what I mean? 11 teams in 13 seasons, right? So that's 11, and that may not be 11 different coaches because some coaches are fired. I mean, I'm not sure on every coach that he's had. Some coaches are fired, you know what I mean? So he may have had more than 11 coaches. So that's 11 different styles of play, you could say, right? 11 different, uh, yeah, 11 different styles of play, 11 different terminologies, 11 different systems you have to learn, right? And he's still hooping. You know what I mean? This is kind of a little bit to the left, but Lakers. Just remember Dennis Schroeder Lakers because I don't want to go too far. I don't want to go too far left. But no, let me. I wonder if I should just ask it now.
Just go
Do
ahead.
you think he didn't? Because I was thinking, especially with the whole Sam Darnold thing. I don't know if you heard like about the Sam Darnold situation with the jock tax in California. He had to give up like thousand, like six figures in taxes just to play in the Super Bowl, in California. Um, So like they have this thing called a jock tax. Like you heard the jock
Oh,
tax? Yeah, so they got like
no,
the jock tax where I guess players in sports leagues that make millions, they gotta like pay taxes in every state that they play in.
which
So
is
like
crazy.
I'm wondering if he didn't sign that contract because of the Lakers, because of California's insane tax rate. I think I don't know people from when I hear it, when I hear like people out in Cali like on videos and stuff like that, it seems like the way they explain it is pretty much half your check is gone if you play in Cali. That's where I hear it. So I believe so I guess they're taxing at 50% or something like that. So like I wonder if he didn't sign because of taxes. Just
Well, I don't think it's just taxes. I think yes, that might have played a factor, and I think that plays a factor into like where a lot of players sign to. Um, but I still truly feel like he wanted to bet on himself, and it just didn't go the way he
Mm.
expected it to. So
Yeah, I don't know. I thought about that. I was like, I wonder if like any if because the whole Sam Darnold thing, and then you hear about the jaw tax, and then so I was like, I wonder why. That's like, I wonder if he just wanted to preserve his check. But then I guess it really don't make that much of a difference though, because he didn't. I think he ended up signing a contract. Not as much, but he ended up signing a contract with the Kings anyway. So maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't that. But I don't know. But that was just something. But
he went straight to the Kings, though, right? There was like two teams in between the Lakers and the
yeah,
Kings.
was he? But
Right?
was he? I think he signed. I think he
Celtics.
signed with the Kings. Hmm?
Yeah, yeah, he signed. Well, that's
It was
I
the.
think he have to didn't he have to rebuild his value? Because didn't he
Hmm.
play the Celtics? Right? Was it the
I believe
Celtics?
so.
The
Yeah,
Celtics,
might have been
and
the
then
Celtics.
I think there was another team after that, and then that's when he got the long term contract. Because I think he signed
Yeah,
1 year.
because he signed a 1 year. Yeah, 1 year with the Celtics. Then with the then after that he went to the Raptors.
The Raptors, yeah.
Hmm. So it was. It seems like it was. It was Hawks, Celtics. No, Celtics was before the Lakers. So it was Lakers, the 1 year 2 mil, and then bet on himself, and then the Raptors signed him for 2 for 25.
For 25.
And then he ended up signing a deal with the Kings, but got traded. Um, but then ended up getting traded.
I
So it's
wonder how
interesting.
I wonder how players feel. Like you sign a
Hmm.
contract in a certain like market. Like let's say you sign your contract in like Miami or Orlando. We got no state income tax, and then
Hmm.
you get traded to like California where they're like taxing your whole paycheck. I wonder, like that side of the game and how that kind of affects those players.
I wondered. Actually, to correct myself, and I don't know if it still could be a thing. He signed that contract. He signed that 3 for 44 with the Pistons. So you were right. It was Pistons. So he signed that with the Pistons, and then he got traded to the Kings. So I don't know. And like you said, you posed the question about taxes. Like, I mean, 'cause these are making millions, bro. Like, so it's like, do they want to just give millions away to the IRS just cause? I mean, just cause they asking for it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if there's a way to get around it, I'm sure they would. You know. But but to answer your question though, I mean, to add more to the Harden and Schroeder. In regards to the line, yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, look at like I said, I feel like if I'm a coach, like I'm trusting Dennis Schroeder. Like he's played a lot of basketball. Even not even just NBA, like even with his country, right? Like just playing, in the Olympics and stuff like that. Like he's just a baller. You know what I mean? So with that, I feel like I don't have no problems with it because he doesn't need the ball. You know what I mean? Like he could play off ball while Harden's on ball, and you kind of seen that too. Like I didn't really see too many problems. Like he just gets in where he fits in, which is what you love from a vet. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I mainly wanted to ask you. All right, hold on. Here's a follow-up question for you, right?
Okay.
Do you feel like Harden is a point guard or a shooting guard? Or you believe he's one of the few players that could switch between both?
He's a point guard.
He's a point guard,
Hmm.
and
After
then
watching them, after watching them the past, especially like after watching them with the Clippers, watching them with the Clippers, watching them today, a little bit like he definitely needs the ball in his hands, not just because he's a scorer, but I think he has the ability to just create, not only create for himself, but create, for his teammates. Like you said, getting the bigs involved, like getting Jared Allen involved more. Like you love, and it's great to see that, right? Because before this trade, before Garland was traded, right? Like we were talking, like it was an episode. It was an episode a while back. You know, we were talking like, why isn't Jared Allen getting used more? Like, like Jared Allen needs to get used more. Like he's better than what we're seeing. And like you see Harden like willingly like get him involved. That's not just like a shooting guard, like that's like a ball dominant shooting guard. Like I think he has point guard, like he is a point, like he can create those type of opportunities for his teammates. And it's interesting. I have a follow. I want you to answer too, but I have a follow up to your question too, though, because I want to hear your take on it though.
So I do think he's a point guard, but I do think if needed, you could kind of move him to that shooting guard. Um, but I know when I saw it, I was like, I wonder if Jeremiah thinks he's a point guard, and he's probably really mad right now because they're doing the two point guard lineup that he hates so much.
But like he's a point guard like in a shooting guard's body. So like I'm not too mad at it. It's just like when you have like when I was talking about in the trade deadline special, like with Billy Donovan and the University of Florida, like you had Kenny Boynton and Irvin Walker. Irvin Walker's like 5'7", Kenny Boynton's like 6'1". Like that's like what are you doing? That's I mean, but that's all he had though, I guess. I mean, so you gotta work with what you got. But I mean, it's just it looks wild. But the thing is though, and I wonder what you think on this too. I don't know if he came into the league as a point guard though. And I mean, maybe I gotta go back and watch film. But okay, you shaking your head no, so maybe I'm
I
right.
thought he
So
came in as a shooting guard.
right,
Am I-
because like, and I'm talking play style. Like I don't think he came in, you know, and I don't think he came in as a like what we saw today, just a poised, making the right basketball play, can score if he wants to. Like I feel like he came in as like a pure scorer, you know what I mean? And even in Houston, once he was traded from OKC, like he was kind of I mean he took over the shooting guard position pretty much. Like he was the guy for a very, very long time. You know what I mean? Averaging 30 points, like 30 points a game, like just putting up video game numbers, right? And he was putting the ball in the basket. So it's like, I wonder, but it's cool to see like the growth though. Like, do you think like he grew into like this point guard role? Because and maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, because this point guard, him being able to run the point, like I don't know if that was always a thing. Like, and I'm trying to think of Houston as well. Like, maybe that's a pivotal point because he did have the ball a lot in his hands. But was he as much of a playmaker as he was in Houston? Like, was he a playmaker really like that in Houston though?
I
I
think
think. Mhm.
in Houston they were moving towards that
Okay.
area where, at least in my opinion, I kind of saw it. But I think it's Houston's once he started later on becoming like that triple double threat,
Hmm.
with points, rebounds, and assists, and I think that kind of like slowly started developing. Um,
Hmm.
Further on throughout his career, I know he had the Chris Pauls and the Westbrook, so maybe also having those talented point guards, could have also helped his development in terms of point guard. They could have
Right.
taught him, you know, kind of like their vision, how they see things playing the point guard position. Um, who did he get traded to after that? Oh, it was
After
Brooklyn.
Houston was in the Brooklyn, yeah.
Brooklyn,
Hmm.
and then from Brooklyn to the Sixers. And the
Because
Sixers,
really,
he was the point guard.
because his first season in Houston, I mean, he averaged 5 assists, but maybe his fifth season in Houston, he averaged 11 assists a game. So you're right then. I mean, I think it was probably during that time where him having the ball and that's the beauty of it. And that's probably what happened. Him having the ball so much, him being so ball dominant. I think it may have just like you said, it just unlocked another part of his game. Like, hey, I could not only can I score at will, but I can also like with my ability to score, it puts the defense at like maybe an over aggressive approach on me. And hey, my teammate's open. Let me make the right basketball play and dish it out. And I think once he unlocked that, I mean, you get what you see today. I mean, he hasn't really stopped since that point. you know.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. He's only been
No, so
improving.
that's dope. So, I mean, that's not only great coaching. I guess what that was D'Antoni. Yeah, was D'Antoni his coach? I know D'Antoni wasn't his coach the whole time.
No, before that it was
Yeah, Kevin
Kevin
McHale. Yeah,
Hale,
yeah, I
McHale.
think it was McHale. So yeah, so McHale D'Antoni. I guess they allowed him to develop into
Why do I feel like there's also another coach in there somewhere?
yeah,
Maybe I'm just
McHale D'Antoni. Who else would it be?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just
Um,
thinking of something else.
yeah, maybe. Well, Ime Udoka.
No, no, no. Oh, I think I'm thinking once D'Antoni got fired, they hired that coach and then he asked for the trade. Forgot his name. I can't think of it off the top of
Coach
my head.
asked for a trade.
No, Harden asked for a
Oh,
trade. They got a new coach,
oh,
and then Harden wants that guy. Just trade
dang
me.
it. Who was it? I don't know. Yeah, they gotta think about that one. But yeah, I mean, it's beautiful to see though. See how he, develops his game and develop kind of that point guard aspect of his game, and you know, and maybe you could just say he's a guard, right? Like, like he's a combination. Like he's just a legit guard. Like he's someone that can play the point, you know what I mean, and set his teammates up and run the show, you know what I mean. But then also, hey, I have a playmaking point guard. Let me just, play off and just be a scorer. You need me to score, I can do that as well. So, um, but he's probably best, like at his best, probably with just the ball in his hands full time. I mean, that's just from what we've seen. But yeah, I'm not too mad. It's a big detour from Dennis Schroeder and James Harden. But but I'm not too mad at the lineup though. And also what I love just about the thought of James Harden and Donovan Mitchell is is just the lack of layoff, right? Like if you're Kenny Atkinson and the coaching staff, like you could get creative in terms of how you play them, right? Because you don't really, and I don't want to bring Darius Garland in too much, but like with Donovan Mitchell off the floor, like does Darius Garland have the same like takeover mentality that a James Harden has? You know what I mean? When Donovan Mitchell is off the floor, like can he maintain your, what I mean, your offensive, what I mean? Can he just maintain the offense while Donovan Mitchell's on the bench? Now, maybe that wasn't really the answer. So maybe the Cavs had to make that move, right? But with Donovan Mitchell on the bench, you have somebody like James Harden, who like we just talked about for what, maybe for like 10 seasons in Houston, average probably pretty much 30 25, 30 points a game, right? So he knows about being able to take over. And he knows that, it is Donovan Mitchell's team, but he's also can like, take over and hold off and Mitchell can get some rest and you know what I mean? And the offense won't be too bad without him on the floor.
I think we still got to give credit to Garland because I think Garland can take over if needed. Let's
Hmm.
not forget he was an All Star.
He
Um,
was.
but I think maybe it's more like maybe his style and Mitchell weren't going well together.
Okay.
Obviously they're both like very short, and at the same time, he's been injured a lot recently. So I think that also played a big part onto them that they can no longer sit here with his injury history and just hope for the best.
I have a question though, to add to your injury take, right?
Okay.
So I mean, he had a good season last year, so 75 games last year. Um, but before that, 57, 69. Like with a player that's injured, like why would if you see a player that's kind of injured a lot, and not to say he wasn't injured a lot, like he was injured a lot this year, why would you give away one of your best, well, probably argue, well, nah, I mean Kawhi was the guy. So probably your one of your top two players for injured, for potentially injury prone PG,
Well,
potential
first things
potential.
first, James Harden requested a trade.
He did.
And James Harden style, he gets mad and he requested a trade. They no longer want to be on the Clippers. Okay, so at that point, the Clippers kind of have to trade him. Like you kind of have to trade him. And I think it was that point where like you look at Garland and yeah, he might be injured, but you're trading away a guy that doesn't want to be in your team and your locker room anymore. And you're getting back well, he might be injury prone. You got to realize he's young. So the Clippers have always been old. So now they're getting younger by getting Garland. You're getting somebody who has the potential to be an all-star because he was a one-time all-star. So it's just that thing where like what you're trading away, yes, in hindsight, you look at how great of a player Harden is, and you're trading an amazing player away. But thinking how he doesn't want to be on your team,
Mm,
it's kind of like a low risk high reward because James Harden doesn't want to be on your team. So either you're going to trade him for scraps because he publicly said, "I don't want to be a Clipper," or you could trade him for a guy who is injured but has the potential to be that all star.
I see your point. Yeah, I was just curious. I mean, yeah, just because you kind of see you kind of see the potential injury, so it kind of seems like a risky move. But yeah, maybe the way you explained it's not that bad. Just being how bad James Harden didn't want to be there. That's hilarious. In James Harden, in James Harden style.
What can I say? Didn't he do it for the past three teams?
In James Harden style. Oh, you concentrate. Um, I'm curious though. Now that you brought that up, though, dang, you. I don't know. I'm loving this. I'm loving this combo. Now that you brought that up, though, it's like the questions are flowing. So he has a player option this summer, and maybe I'll add another question to it. Does he accept that player option, and how long does Cleveland? And maybe this can answer a second question. How long does Cleveland have him for? Is my other question. So do you think he accepts the player option? How long does Cleveland really have him for? Like that's a
What
legit question.
Whether he accepts the player option or not, I think he will stay in the Cavs. I think the Cavs will give him an extension.
Okay.
Um, Now the biggest thing here, I think, is really the tax for the Cavs. I think they're on the second apron, and I think that really limits them, from my understanding, to what they could do um, around the roster area.
Okay.
So I think it really comes down to one, how long you're keeping him is how long you have with the roster that you have. Because at the end,
Mm,
you're at that second apron, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices, just the way the tax and the aprons and all that structure is set up in the NBA now, where they don't allow teams that are on a big payroll to stay for long term. So you have Mitchell's making a max,
yep.
you have Evan Mobley's making a max,
Hmm.
Jarrett Allen's making like what 25, I think, something like that, and then
I got you. I got you.
James Harden's gonna it's making what's he making 35, 40, something like that. So those are big numbers,
Yeah.
and they're gonna have to
So
figure out how to deal with it.
so James Harden, he would be scheduled to make 42 next season.
Yeah.
Uh Jared Allen, he is making ooh, Lord, he might be the one that's pushing them over that pushing them to that apron for real. So he's making 28 this year, and he's scheduled to make 30.2 next year. And then Donovan Mitchell's gonna make 50.
Dang. Yeah. I think that's the question that we should be asking. Who's gonna be the
Yeah,
odd man out when they have to make some budget cuts?
should have
Because
worked harder
budget
in
cuts won't
PE.
hit them.
I should have worked harder in PE, bro. Tell you, I tell you, it's wild. Like what? Like come on. And
I've been
then
practicing my jump shot instead of learning math.
I mean, do I have to bring up? So he can be making the same as Mitchell. Oh Lord, I don't even want to think about what Mitchell's going to sign for. Jeez, Louise. So Evan Mobley's going to be making 50 mil next year as well.
He signed the max.
So I think Mitchell's gonna be due for like if he keeps it up, he's gonna be due for 60. Is he not gonna be due for 60? 50? It's
Probably.
like 50.
We're close to that 60 mark for players, probably.
Dang. Let it shine, let it shine. Oh man. Um
Let it rain, let it rain.
uh okay. But yeah. So yeah, I'm curious to see how that do. So you see I mean I don't wanna so who's the odd man out?
One of the big men, I'm gonna be honest. They're gonna cut one of the big men. They're cutting one of the big men. It's either Evan
One of
Mobley or
the big
Jared Allen.
I don't know. 50. Evan Mobley's contract taps out at 61 mil.
Maybe it's Evan Mobley.
61 mil.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Ugh, 61. Jeez. Oh man, but nah, I mean, yeah, they're definitely gonna have to. I agree with you though. They're definitely gonna have to make some decisions. Um, but I mean, the talent is there though. This is a tough loss for them as well, just to kind of, just because you're kind of you're this is an OKC team that's missing three of their top scorers essentially. And I mean, it was a team effort. It was a team effort for them. Like everybody had to come up, show up, and play. From Kason Wallace to Lou Dort to Hartenstein to everybody. Isaiah Joe, like everybody came to play. It was a complete team effort. And with Cleveland, when you have your full, yeah, pretty much you have your two superstars and you have pretty much your whole team healthy besides Max Strus. Like this is kind of a game that you know what I mean. You gotta win. You know what I mean. And for them to come out, I think the strong start really helped OKC because I mean you weren't gonna keep a team like Cleveland down for too long. I mean they're
Yeah.
just too good. You know what I mean? James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and you have a point guard, Maestro, and James Harden as well. So they're not going to be down for too long. But I think that big jump, that big 20-point lead at the beginning, I think gave them a good cushion, just to be able to, what I mean, to be able to outlast a comeback, that Cleveland didn't make. But yeah, I mean, this is a game you got to win though, especially with pretty much as many injuries as OKC had.
Yeah, I agree.
You got me curious though. I'm wondering who's going to be the odd man out because that's interesting. It's a lot of millions.
A
It's a
lot of
whole
money.
that is a whole lot of millions. Oh man,
I think
but
the Cavs are
mhm,
actually the only team right now in the second apron after
gotta
the
be.
trade deadline. Yeah,
Because which contract was it? Because was Mobley's contract the one that was kind of like scrutinized, or was it Jared Allen's that was scrutinized a bit? Like kind of like I feel like it
I
was
don't
was it Mobley?
remember. I actually don't remember.
I wonder if it was Mobley's. I don't know. I mean, shout out to them though. Generational wealth. That's what we're striving for. That's what we're all striving for. So
I, I wish.
they, they got a great head start.
Yeah, they do.
They not only can help their generation, they can help other people's generations. Like your generation need something like that's
Just spare me 1 million. That's all I ask. That's chump change. That's chump change for y'all.
you going
Treat,
to
treat,
Evan Mobley.
treat me like the IRS and give me 1 million and don't think about it.
You going to Evan Mobley? Hey, you got $1 million. I can move sorrow.
Hey, bro,
What?
give me 1 million, and then when you go to the IRS, say you donated to charity. I'm charity.
I'm kidding. Oh man, you got $1 million I could borrow. But yeah, great win from OKC, with their injuries. Uh, and we'll see how Cleveland's payroll situation. Cleveland will definitely be a team to watch next free agency, for
Yes,
sure.
sir. Yes,
Uh,
sir.
like, comment, subscribe, uh, turn on notifications, and we'll see you in the next video. Be out.